Paladins. It is I, Corinne, the chaotic good paladin, and it's that time of the month again. Time to film my monthly TBR video. If this is the first video of mine you are seeing, I will leave a playlist up in the info card above. It's on that side. Tap the screen, there should be an eye icon. If you click on that eye icon, you'll see a list called From Tarot to TBR Games. And you can watch that playlist all the way through and see all of the evolutions that my TBR game has taken over the years. So this month we will be playing the Lord of the TBR again, version 2.0, Return of the TBR. I will put all of the rules and everything in the description box below. Before I show you guys what I'm reading this month, I gotta tell you how I did on my TBR last month and any readathons I'm doing this month. So here are all of the books I chose for my March TBR, plus A Week Without Tuesday. Treasure Island, I never got around to it. I just was not in the mood for it this month. I feel like I need to be in a very specific mood for classics, and it just wasn't feeling like a month when I could read a classic. So I kind of gave up on it. I will try it again though. I only read the first 2 chapters, and I did enjoy it, but I just was not feeling like reading a classic this month. Mistborn, I am officially DNFing. I know this is going to be a controversial opinion. I will give it one more try, because I do really want to give Brandon Sanderson a chance as an author. Everyone loves him so much. I feel like I'm the odd one out here, not liking Sanderson. I have book number 2 on my shelf over there too. So I want to give it one more try, see if I can get through it. I just was bored and couldn't connect to the characters. Readathons I'm doing this month. So this month I'm doing 2 readathons. The first readathon is, of course, Buzzwordathon, hosted by Books and Lala. I will link her video down below. And this month, our buzzword is to read emotions in the title. I have a couple of books with love in the title, and I have one book with shame in the title, I think. So I could pick one of those. And I also will be doing the magical readathon, hosted by G over at Book Roast. I will link her video down below. We gotta change out the thrifted prompt that came up last time. We're just gonna shuffle around our little pile and get out a prompt, and it's gonna be skip a book. Okay, rule number 1. As always, I have to visit each section of the board at least once, and we're gonna start by going up that way north. Here we go, it's a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's a red dot, so we'll choose a Buzzwordathon book. Prompt number 1 in our game is to choose a Buzzwordathon book. My first instinct was to go for Love and Luck by Jenna Evans Welch, which is book number 2 in the Love and Gelato series. However, I really want to reread book number 1 because I have this weird habit of reading book number 1 and being like, oh, I'll start the series. And then by the time it's time to read book number 2, I'll forget what book 1 is. So I really want to reread book 1 first and remember what happened. Also, it was just such a cute story. The main character travels to Italy to live with her dad for a while, and then she finds an old journal of her mom's. She makes friends with this Italian young man, and they go traveling around the city together to remember to see what her mom saw. And it's just so cute. And the mixed media format of the journal entries and the narration of present day is super duper cute. And I just know I'm going to enjoy myself with this. I haven't been enjoying much that I've been reading lately, except for a couple of standout books. So I really just want to choose some really fun rereads. And love is, of course, an emotion word. I'll shuffle up my prompts here and choose one out. Let's get this one. Coin flip! This is a new one, and it's so much fun. So if this comes up, I'm going to choose 2 different books, flip a coin, and heads, it's one book, tails, it's another book. All right, rule number 2, and it's a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's a blue spot, so we'll use the box of reading to choose a book. Alright, row number 2 gave us box of reading. And actually, I just bought my very first fake crates. I loved the box itself so much that I decided to switch it over to be my new box of reading. So I took all of my prompts from my papers from my old box and just tossed them in here. So here we go. The box of reading tells us to choose this book. I'm afraid to look. Forgotten Country. Okay, so this one is a historical fiction. I don't remember what it's about anymore. The night before Janey's sister Hannah is born, her grandmother tells her a story. Since the Japanese occupation of Korea, their family has lost a daughter in every generation, and Janey is told to keep Hannah safe. Years later, when Hannah inexplicably cuts all ties and disappears, Janey goes to find her. What she discovers will force her to confront her family's painful silence, the truth behind her parents' sudden move to America 20 years earlier, and her own conflicted family feelings toward Hannah. Weaving Korean folklore and history within a modern narrative of immigration and identity, Catherine Chung delivers a fierce exploration of the inevitability of loss in the conflict between loyalty and freedom. Forgotten Country marks the debut of a graceful, astonishing new voice in fiction. This looks so good! Oh my god, I'm so happy with this one. And it was blurred by Julie Otska. I love her. I love her writing. Okay, switching out the prompt for Box of Reading. Here we go. Middle grade. Okay, roll number 3. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to roll again. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it's a red dot. And we're going to flip a coin. So I picked out the 2 books that we are going to use for the coin flip. And they are Smoke Gets in Your Eyes and Other Lessons from the Crematory by Caitlin Doughty. Or The Bullying Antidote by Dr. Louise Hart and Kristen Kevin. So Smoke Gets in Your Eyes was recommended to me by my dad. I read like the first 3 or 4 pages and I just couldn't stop laughing. It's hilarious. I love it so much. I'm such a big fan of Caitlin's channel. And I want to read her book and support her. The other one I have is The Bullying Antidote by Dr. Louise Hart. This one was recommended to me by a coworker. As you guys may or may not know, I'm a teacher. We're going to go ahead and choose between these 2. I feel like it fits because they're both nonfiction. They're both recommended to me by people I really respect and love. And yeah, I can't decide between these 2. So I'm just going to let a coin decide. So I think we're going to have The Bullying Antidote be heads because it has a person on the cover, and Smoke in Your Eyes be tails because this flame kind of reminds me of a tails end of a coin. I'm just gonna search up coin flip. I searched it up and then it automatically flips when you open the page. So I want to do it real time. So again, heads, The Bullying Antidote, tails, Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, and the result is tails! Okay! Smoke Gets in Your Eyes by Caitlin Doughty. So excited about this one. I cannot wait. A girl always remembers the first corpse she shaves. I can tell this is just going to be so much fun to read. And I'm going to learn so much about Caitlin and the mortuary industry. And I don't know what it's about, so don't ask me to tell you what it's about. I'll tell you what it's about in my next video. Okay, gonna switch out the prompt for coin flip. Let's get random color spine. All right, roll number 4. And it's an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Adaptation. The next prompt is to choose an adaptation. So a book that has been or is going to be made into a movie or TV show. I've also been really itching to rewatch The Princess and the Frog movie. That's one of my favorite Disney movies of all time. And I recently found out that it was made from a book. So it was inspired by a book. So I will be reading The Frog Princess by E.D. Baker. This has been on my shelves for ages. I do want to give this one a try and rewatch The Princess and the Frog adaptation. With this adaptation prompt, I've always intended to read the book and watch the adaptation in the same month. Apparently it's not a direct adaptation. It was more just inspired by this book. Change out, oh my god. That adaptation prompt has been up there for at least 3 months. It's been up there since at least 2022. So I'm so glad that we finally chose it. We're getting rid of it. New prompt. Pick this one. A reread. That's always fun. So if this one comes up, I choose a book I've already read that I want to reread and read again. Doing roll number 5. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Plain brown spot. Let's roll again. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Plain brown spot again. Let's roll again.
6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Corinne choice.
The next prompt is Corinne choice, and I have I didn't even have to hesitate about what book to choose. This is the book that came in my recent Fae crate. The dust jacket was pretty enough, but then I took off the dust jacket just out of curiosity, and it had this beautiful foiled naked hardback, and it's got like these sprayed edges. I love sprayed edges on books. I just knew that if Corinne choice came up this month, I was going to choose this one. So it is Where Oceans Burn. Oh my god, the glare on this cover. By Casey L. Bond. This was the Fae crate box, and I have no idea what this book is about. Even the dust jacket they gave me on this book doesn't tell me a thing about this book. It just says Truth, Honor, Blood. Fae crate exclusive. So that's all I know about it. But I also know that it was like a ocean sort of nautical fantasy, and it's so pretty, and I don't know anything about this book. Also, because last month I DNF'd Mistborn, and I was supposed to have read a book over 500 pages for the Aurelium Readathon. This is 528 pages. I can use this one instead to retroactively count for the Magical Readathon prompt from last month I didn't finish. I'm going to change out the prompt for Corinne choice. We'll pick this one. Nyx, a book by Garth Nix.
Roll number 6. And it's a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops. Lost our stand and I don't remember where we were. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stop losing your stand, Legolas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it's a plain brown spot. We're going to roll again. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's a plain brown one. We're going to roll again. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have to pick a book published in the 2020s.
For our next prompt, it is to choose a book that was published in the 2020s. So published after the pandemic started, essentially. So what I've done is basically I've got my Goodreads open, and I've sorted by publication year, and then I'm just going to pick one that's 2020 or later. We're going to choose Fake Dates and Mooncakes. This is an e-arc. I don't often request e-arcs just because I want to focus on my books that I already own, you know? This one I requested because it just looked adorable. I wanted it in my veins. And there's a doggo on the cover. It's like a gay romance. Heartstopper meets Crazy Rich Asians. I've never read Heartstopper, but I really want to. It just looks like the cutest thing ever. And I just need those vibes in my life right now. So I'm going to read this one. It publishes in May. So I want to read it this month and help with like the pre-promotion hype and stuff. It just looks so cute. Now the prompt for Pubbed in the 2020s. Let's get this one. Oh my god, they're gonna be so chaotic with this one. So I'm a teacher. I thought it'd be funny if my students chose a book for me to read. So if this one comes up, I'm going to choose out maybe 4 or 5 books that my students would know. You know, I could choose out, like kids' books or popular books or whatever that they would know and recognize the titles. And then I would create like a little poll of some kind, and I'd put it like on the whiteboard in our classroom, and students could like vote for which book they wanted me to read.
Roll number 7. And it's a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Rolling again. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, student's choice.
I picked out 4 books that I think are very super duper popular that my kids would recognize. My first option I chose out is Artemis Fowl by Eowyn Colfer. This has been on my shelves for a while. I just haven't ever gotten around to it. Also, I've chosen out How to Train Your Dragon by Christina Cowell, which was adapted into the How to Train Your Dragon movies. I don't know if the books are as popular as the movies, but I feel like the title itself, the kids would recognize. I've also chosen out Shadow and Bone. I want to reread Shadow and Bone first, and then read the rest of the trilogy, and also watch the adaptation too, so my kids can make me reread Shadow and Bone. And The School for Good and Evil by Soman Chainani, which is a very popular book at our school. These are the 4 books my students can choose from. I'm so excited for my kids to choose one for me. Switching out the prompt. That's a very fun prompt. So, 5-star prediction.
All right, last roll of the game. And it's a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we've landed on Minas Morgul, which means we're choosing a random color spine.
Last prompt of the game is to choose a random color spine. So I'm going to go ahead and get a random color generator. Generate a random color. And here we go. Oh, that's like a very bright red color. So I think this one matches. It's this really pretty red spine. And you can see it's very close in shade to this red. So I'm going to choose this one. So the final book in our TBR for this month is going to be Fierce Kingdom by Jen Phillips, which is a thriller. I don't know what it's about, except that I saw these merry-go-round horses on the cover. It's a thriller set at a zoo, and there's some sort of danger, but we don't see in the dust jacket what the danger is. So very intrigued by this. I'm very excited to find out what's going on with this one. So like they've been at the zoo all day, and it's like about to close, so they're getting ready to head home. And then as they're leaving the zoo, there's something she sees at the exit gates that send her running back into the zoo. And so she hides in the closed off bits. I don't know, it sounds very intriguing to me, because I used to work at a theme park. And when I worked there, every single day after closing time, we'd have to walk the entire length of the park and make sure no guests had stayed behind or tried to hide in the park overnight. And we used to be given an area to clear, and then we'd have to walk through that entire area and then call on the radio like, my area's clear. So I'm very intrigued to see what this one is all about. Very excited, and since it's a thriller, I feel like it's going to go by fast, and I'm just going to speed right through it. I kind of like thrillers. I found I really, really enjoy thrillers for the most part. So here are the 6 books I've chosen for my TBR, plus Fake Dates and Mooncakes, which is an ebook, plus whichever one of these my students makes me read this month. My character, Nia, is going to be an archmage, and I think I've just barely gotten all of the prompts. The first prompt that I have to fulfill for the Magical Readathon is to learn the glyph of flight, which is choose a book from your highest shelf. So for that one, I'm going to use the Frog Princess, because where it is right now, where it was, is the top shelf on my bookshelf. So the Frog Princess counts for that. The next prompt I have to complete is Conduit Enhancement, which is to start my reading session with a snack. So when I read Forgotten Country, I'll just eat a snack. Disguise Oneself, The Art of Illusion. So for that one, I have to match my clothes to the cover of the book. So for that one, I'm choosing Where Oceans Burn, because it matches the pink of my shirt. I know they're different shades of pink, but I'm counting it. It's got the same vibes, okay? It makes sense in my head. The next prompt I have to fulfill in my game, in the Magical Readathon, is Spirit Binding, which is to read a book that's recommended by a friend. So again, I'm choosing Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, which was recommended to me by my dad. The next one I have to fulfill is to read a book from 389 to 415 pages for Magic Missiles. And this one just barely counts. It's 389 pages exactly. So I'm using Love and Gelato for that prompt. I was not able to find a book that matches, or to be able to choose a book that matches the Principles of Transmutation, which is to choose a book with a metal in the name. I'm going to cheat a little bit and say that Gold of Goldfish counts for metal, and I may or may not be adding Silence's Goldfish this month. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Corinne, also known as the Chaotic Good Paladin, and I make videos talking about the books you should be reading, so you don't have to spend hours scouring the New York Times or Goodreads bestseller list to find the next book you want to read. Make sure to hit that red subscribe button down below and the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. And I will see you in my next quest. Bye!